A very good morning to one and all present here. Gives me immense pleasure to start our webinar series. I am Ramya Shri B, the English faculty from SRM Nightingale Matriculation Higher Secondary School. Today, my webinar topic is Poetic Devices. Poetic Devices. A webinar on Poetic Devices is the topic. So we could see some 15 participants. Let us wait for some 2 more minutes so that we could have more participants coming in. So till that time, let me explain what situation are we into. Hold on. Are you able to see the screen? I hope yes. See, we are into an ongoing pandemic. The pandemic is so bad that we need a boosting or a zeal, a positivity among ourselves. So I framed some mantras for me. It means everybody, you, everyone. So what are the mantras for you to overcome this pandemic? Is nothing but first one is I shall remain safe and healthy with my family. I shall remain safe and healthy with my family. This is my first mantra. Second one, I shall wear mask if I go out. If you are really going to go out, please wear a mask. This is the mantra for yourself. You start following, and so people who see you will also try to follow you. The third mantra is I shall wash my hands often or I will use my sanitizers. This is my third mantra. I shall wash my hands often or often use sanitizers. Fourth one is I shall not panic. This is the most important mantra you have to learn since everybody is giving you ambiguous information. The information is pouring on from every side. You can see there is a depletion of oxygen supply, something on more information is coming in. So seeing all those information, don't get panicked. The fourth mantra you say to yourself is I shall not panic. Then the last mantra is I shall persuade my relatives, friends and families to follow the needed protocol. This is what is my fifth mantra. So I hope the mantras 5 what I have given you will help you to overcome the ongoing pandemic. So the mantras, I shall repeat it again. I shall remain safe and healthy with my family. I shall wear mask if I go out. I shall wash my hands often or use sanitizers. I shall not panic. I shall persuade my relatives, friends and family to follow the needed protocols. So this is what the mantras are. I hope you are going to be helped by these 5 mantras. Now, let me see how many participants have come so that we could start with our webinar. Let me see the number of participants. I hope we could start with it. Okay, so we are starting with the webinar today. So again, let me introduce myself. I am the resource person. I am Mrs. Ramya Shri D. I am faculty of English at SRM Nightingale Matriculation Higher Secondary School. And the topic is Poetic Devices. Okay, why this webinar? What are the outcomes? What will you learn from this webinar? So these are the outcomes. Reasons of the poetic device usage. What are the reasons behind poetic device? That is the first outcome, learning outcome. Second one, you will learn the essential poetic devices. You will learn the essential poetic devices. How? You will relate it with the everyday usage. Just a minute. Learning the essential poetic devices, relating them with the everyday usage. How this webinar is going to be different from your regular class. So in your regular class, you will be learning all your poetic devices, linking it with your lessons. Here, in this webinar, I am going to tell you how to use the poetic devices in relating them with the everyday usage. How it is related with our everyday usage. That is what is going to be a second outcome of this webinar. Third one, the techniques to identify the poetic devices, that too with the illustrations from the text. From our 10th, 11th and 12th textbook and from other poems, I have taken some illustration so that we could identify them. That is what is the learning outcome is going to be. So this is what we are going to learn from today's webinar. Okay, I hope you are all very clear of the what is our target, what is our learning outcome. Now we are going to step into the next one. Okay, now tell me, okay, I hope you cannot reply me back. Instead, you can message me. Just I will give you a 2 minutes time. Only a 2 minutes time I'll give you. Tell me why poems are written. Why poems are written? Why do people write poems? Why? What is the reason? Just I'll give you a minute's time. Those who know whatever comes into your mind, please type and send. Just a minute's time I'll give you. So according to you, what is the reason behind writing poems? Those who know, you can just give your peace of mind. You can tell me. You can just message and tell me why do you write poems? So Darshana has written to improve our imagination. Yes, good. The next person, Varsha, has written that express the poet's thought. Very good. From Selvi, it's creativity. Very good. To express their feelings. Lakshmi, yes, you're right. So everybody is telling that it is to express their feelings, to express their creativity. Yes, this was the reason behind write poems. And moreover, poems were written as a pastime work also. So if they are going to feel bored, so they started writing poems. Now, how come this poetic devices play an important role in writing the poem? See, for pastime, when you write it for a pastime, when you don't have any other work to do, if you write a poem, you just write it without any intention. You don't want to create any kind of impression using that poem, isn't it? So actually these poetic devices, why were they implemented? Why were they given importance? These are the reasons. You see on the screen, the first reason, thank you, everybody has given me the good opinion via their messages. Very good. Now see the screen which tells why poetic devices are important. The poetic devices are important. First point, it enhances the rhyme, rhythm, intensify the feeling of the poem. So it gives you a rhyme. When you read a poem with a rhyme, it fixes in your mind and heart. For example, when you go with your Tamil film songs, how come they are getting into your mind and heart? Because they are in some rhyme, they are in some rhythm, and some poems, they intensify the feeling of the poem. For example, if a poet is writing a poem on love or something called nature, he just puts all his interest into the poem using some poetic devices which intensifies the feeling of the poem. When you read that poem, you get into that genre, you get into that scenario. So So that gives the rhyme, rhythm, and it intensifies the feeling of the poem. And the poet is very comfortable in conveying the idea in a better way. When he uses some poetic devices, he is conveying the idea in a very better way. And also, when you read the poem, it gives you a better and vivid description. Some poem, when you read about the rain pati, if you are going to read a poem, when you start reading the poem, if the poet has used the word the rain again and again and again, it gives you a description that you are in the middle of the rain. You are just enjoying the rain. So it gives you that vivid description. So these are the reasons why poetic devices were used. So the reasons behind the poetic devices are nothing but, first one, it enhances the rhyme, rhythm, and intensifies the feeling of the poem. It helps the poem in conveying the idea in a very better way. If he is going to use some poetic devices and write, the poem will come out in a very, very better way. The last point, why the poetic devices are important, it helps to give a better and a vivid description. Vivid means a clear. Vivid means a very clear picture of what he is trying to tell. So these are the reasons behind why poetic devices are used. Now, you may ask me, what are these poetic devices? I told you why poetic devices are important. You may now come to a question. Okay, we have come to know why poetic devices are used. Now tell me, what are the poetic devices? Just see, before that, I'll just tell you why poetic device is important. You can see a very cute dog, isn't it? Now, when I am going to explain, if I'm going to write a line about this dog without any kind of device, I will tell the dog smiled. So I'm not in my idea is not able to reach in a full content. I'm just telling the dog smiled. But when I'm using some device, I'm not going to tell you what are the devices I'm using, but I'm just making it. The cute dog smiled like a cuddled baby. So the difference between the dog smile and the cute dog smiled like a cuddled baby, which one do you like the most now? Now message me. The dog smiled, the cute dog smiled like a cuddled baby. Now they just reply me. Which one do you like the most now? The first one, without device or with the device? I'll tell you what are the devices later. Yes, I'll tell you. Yes. So you're all liking with the device. So you can see the difference. Instead of writing the dog smiled, I'm not getting any kind of feeling. But when I tell the cute dog smiled like a cuddled baby, I can bring in my feeling that the dog is very cute. How it is smiling? It is smiling like a baby. So I'm bringing in all my efforts into it, all my feelings into it. So you can understand that without a device is less appealing. With the device, it is more appealing. So can you understand the difference between using with the device and without device? Yes, I hope so. So now we have come to a conclusion that if some poetic devices are included in a poem, it gives you a better pleasure, isn't it? Now, the next one. Now, what are the poetic devices we are going to learn today? So, everybody would have come across these words, these devices in your classes. But anyway, I'll give you an explanation in a very vivid way today. So, the first one is going to be the simile, metaphor, alliteration, assonance, personification, Anamotopia, allusion, rhetorical question, synecdoche, repetition, anaphora. I would like to just tell you what are all the 12 poetic devices we are going to deal with today. See, we have number of poetic devices. These poetic 12 devices I have selected from the class 9, 10, 11, 12. I have selected the main important thing what you come across in your examination. You have number of poetic devices. It may come around some 20 or 30. But from that, I have taken only 12 to be dealt today. So let me again repeat what are the 12 poetic devices we are going to come across today. Simile, metaphor, alliteration, assonance, personification, onomatopoeia, allusion, rhetorical question, synecdoche, repetition, anaphora. So these are the 12 poetic devices we are going to come across in our webinar. Am I very clear to you? Do you have any questions till now? If you have any questions, just please post it. Let me answer so that I can go for my first explanation, simile. So can I continue? Okay. So the first one is going to be the simile. It is not a smile. It is called as a simile. You have to pronounce it as simile. You should not call it as a smile. You have S-I-M-I-L-E. So you call it as simile. So what is a simile? It is nothing but it can be defined as an explicit comparison. What do you mean by explicit comparison? Explicit. Anybody can give me the meaning of the word explicit? Explicit? Anybody? Can anybody give the meaning of the word explicit? Please message, type. Half a minute I can give time for you, since we have to complete all the complete thing. Outward, okay? Any other definition?
Ma'am, is it clear?
Yes?
Ma'am, is it
please message, Ma. Please,
understand?
instead of replying, please message.
Okay.
Clear, okay. Explicit is something open, clear, yes. As what you people tell, it is an open or clear comparison. See, when you see the example what I have given here, as quiet as a mouse, as timid as a rabbit, as graceful as a swan. So this compares in a open way, in a very clear way. See, if I'm going to compare myself with a mouse, so how can I compare? I am as quiet as a mouse. So what are the comparison made here? Myself and the mouse is being compared. So mouse is also quiet, I am also quiet. So there is a clear expression, clear comparison between myself and the rat over here. So it is understood that the comparison is explicit. The next example is as timid as a swan. So myself again I am comparing with me to the swan. So how timid? Timid means I don't do things very in a very strong way. I will be very timid. Timid means I fear in doing something. So I am timid. So that quality is compared with that of a swan. Okay. Sorry, as timid as, I'm not able to see the picture. Just a minute. No, as timid as, no. One minute, ma. As quiet as a mouse. Okay, rabbit, it seems. As timid as a rabbit means it is not doing very strong. It is very, it fears. So I also fear on seeing some things. So I am timid. So my quality is compared with that of that rabbit there. So it is an explicit comparison. The next one is as graceful as a swan. When I walk, I am very graceful. Just I walk very gracefully. So my walking is compared to that of a swan. So now you can see the explicit comparison. Explicit comparison means a clear, direct comparison. Okay. Now the element. What are the elements you could see here? What is the word I have used? What is the word that I have repeated? Can anybody message? As. Yes. So as. I have used the word as for a comparison. So when the elements like, as, resembles, than, in the four, if these four elements are going to come with the comparison, you call it as a simile. So what are the four elements that is used to compare? Can anybody message? What are the four elements? You have to use the four elements called like, as, resembles, than. These are the 4 elements that you can use to give a explicit comparison. So this is a comparison using the elements like, yes, Varsha right. Like, as, resemble, than. If you use these 4 elements and make a comparison, you call it a simile. You call it a simile. Now I told you in the beginning of the webinar, this is going to be quite different from others. How? Now I am going to tell you how the simile is being used in everyday's language. How do we use it? Can you tell me any place where similes are used other than your textbook? Any other place you know? Just message me. Any other place? Any other place you can see? Okay, I can see the simile here, miss. If you know the answer, just type and send me. Any place other than your text. Okay, Proverbs, leave all your things with the books and all, you just leave. Go out of the box and think. Other than your books, other than your very good. Who said? Selvi? Selvi. Yeah, advertisements are the right way. So advertisements are the part of our everyday life. Is it yes or no? Yes. Advertisements are used everywhere. Whenever you turn here and there, you can see the advertisement. Now see how simile is used in the advertisement. This is the famous, which one? Car advertisement, Chevrolet. What is their advertisement, you know? Chevrolet sits, it is like a rock. So what is the word is used here? The word like is used here, and hence it is very much understandable that it is a simile. So advertisement is made out of similes too. So anyway, if you start seeing the advertisement, just look for the elements, poetic devices. When I complete the 12 poetic devices, you will have a clear-cut idea. You will understand, okay, these are the poetic devices. So whenever you start seeing an advertisement, just start seeing it with the help of the poetic devices, what has been taught today. Okay, so Chevrolet, what they make, the advertisement, they have made the advertisement like Chevrolet, like a rock. It just sits there. So this is the advertisement. This is a very good everyday usage of simile. Now, the next picture, when you see, if I'm asking you the weather, how the weather is? The weather is as cold as ice. What is the answer given? The weather is as cold as ice. So when talking, first one it was advertisement, second one when talking, you have used the simile. The weather is as cold as ice. How do you want your pizza? I want a pizza like from the shops. So when you are talking also, you start using the simile unknowingly. All these days you would have told all these words, but you would not have known that they are similes. Now try to decipher whatever advertisement you see, whether it comes with the poetic device. So when you explain the weather, it comes with the poetic device. The weather is as cold as ice. Now, when I'm going to ask you to explain yourself, I'm just posing a question. Explain yourself. What are the words you will use? My eyes are as blue as the ocean. My ears can hear like a rabbit. My brain is as smart as a scientist. My nose can smell like a beer. My heart is as big as an elephant. So everything comes in your everyday usage. The first one is advertisement. The second was I am asking you a question. Third one is I am asking you to explain. So everything comes in your everyday language. So by this you understand that similes are part of our everyday language. Okay? Are you clear? Have I explained you in a right way? I hope I have cleared your doubts. So simile is nothing but it uses elements like, as, than, resembles with a comparison, and hence it is called as a simile. And everyday usage of simile I have told you. Okay, shall we go for the next one? Yes, clear. Okay, can we go for the next one? Okay, now metaphor. Okay, before we go into the next thing, this is the illustration from the text. You see, you have learned how to identify a simile. You know how a simile is being used in everyday language. Now we have to identify it from our text. So the first example is, grew thin and treacherous as air. It comes in one of our poems from class 10, 11 and 12. I am not sure of which class. So grew thin and treacherous as air. So what is the element? As is the element, and so it is a simile. Like a huge python winding round and round. Again like is used and hence it is a simile. I have learned to wear my phasers like dresses. So again like is used, it is a simile. First one, somebody is growing. So growing is compared to the air. So it is a simile. The second one, it's a poem for the class 12. That the creeper or climber is being compared to a huge python. So it is again a simile. Third one, I have learned to wear my phasers like dresses. So wearing phasers is compared to the dresses like is used and hence it is a simile. Okay, now we are going for the next one, metaphor. Again, metaphor. Now I'll read the definition. You just tell me what you understand. Okay. Metaphors can be defined as an implicit comparison without any element. In other words, it is usually made by stating something to something else. So again, I'm reading the definition. It can be defined as an implicit comparison without any element. In other words, it is usually made by stating something to something else. So in simile, we saw it was an explicit comparison. Now in metaphor, we call it an implicit comparison. So what is metaphor? See, so what is implicit? Sorry. What is implicit? Explicit, you said it was clear. Yes. Now what is implicit? What could be the meaning of the word implicit? Not very much clear. Very good. Then in depth. Okay. Hidden. Yes, that is the right answer. Thank you, Shanti ma'am. The answer is hidden. Implicit means something that is hidden. So metaphor is also a comparison, but not open like simile, hidden. It is compared. One thing is stated to the other one. When you see the picture in the right side, he has a heart of a lion. The meal was a rainbow of colors. You are the sunshine of my life. So what is he trying to tell? They are stating something to something else. Sunshine, it is not the direct sunshine. It says that you are the sunshine of my life, means you are the everything of my life. What do you mean by the word sunshine? Sunshine means when it is going to shine, you will be very happy. The day will be very good. So same way, sunshine, somebody is compared to the sunshine. So that is what the comparison is here. The comparison is not open. It is what? It is implicit. It is what? It is implicit. So here also it is a comparison, but you do not have any elements like, as, resemble or than. Instead, it is a comparison without any elements. In other words, it is a stating something to something else. That is what is the definition of the word, definition of the figure of speech, metaphor. So metaphor is an implicit comparison. It is not an explicit comparison. It is an implicit comparison. Now see, that everyday usage I have given you. See, the left one you can see nut. This is a very famous hospital in Vijayawada, Manipal Hospital. They have given this as their advertisement. See, what is advertisement? No brain is a tough nut to crack for us. So which is compared to which? Can anybody message? Which is compared to which? Not directly be expressed. Yes, it is expressed in an indirect way. It is expressed in an implicit way. Yes, walnut is compared to the brain. Yes, the walnut is compared to the brain. Yes, there is no direct element, but still a comparison is made. So the brain is transformed. It is given as a picture of a tough nut. So no brain is a tough nut to crack for us. So can you see the metaphor is being used in everyday life? Yes, the advertisements are part of our everyday life. Again, metaphor is used in the advertisement, which means that metaphors come in your everyday language. The next one is life is a roller coaster. Life is a roller coaster. When you are going to tell and as an example, you tell it is a roller coaster. So life is like a roller coaster means it becomes a simile. Now it is the word life is a roller coaster. So we are again comparing. It is no elements we have. Life is compared to a roller coaster. Now, can you see the next one? He broke my heart. This everybody would have come across. Even in your family, at home, if somebody is going to do the thing which you are not at all expecting, when they do that thing, you feel your heart is broken, isn't it? So you call it, he broke my heart. It is not really is coming and breaking your heart. By the words, he is breaking your heart. So he broke my heart. He really flared up my temper. The sun is a creature of habit. I'm feeling blue. So these are all the comparisons. These are all the everyday usage. So this is what the advertisement of a famous hospital. This is a quote that comes into the life. This is every day is happening. One or the other will break your heart. One or the other you will feel blue. Feeling blue means you are feeling so low. You are not happy. You can tell he flared up my temper when you are talking. By the words he flared up my temper. So every day it comes into your everyday usage. You all use this word, you all speak the sentences without knowing that you're employing a figure of speech. Yes, you're employing a metaphor when you talk. So am I relating it rightly? Can we relate metaphor to our everyday usage? Yes or no? Please reply whether is this yes or no. Yes. We are using metaphors in our everyday language without knowing that we are actually using a metaphor. Am I clear? Okay. Now the illustration from our text. So this is the line from our text. She is a lioness. Don't mess up with her. It is a metaphor. Why? Why is it a metaphor? Because she is compared to a lioness. Who is compared? She is compared to a lioness. And so here it is a metaphor. The next word. The human soul that through me ran. So which is running? The human soul is running inside you. So that is compared to the running inside your, whatever is running inside your body, can be of blood or something. So it is compared. So it is a metaphor again. All the world is a stage. Every world is a stage. Again, the world is compared to a stage. So it is a metaphor. Eyes block cold eyes. Your eyes are compared to the block cold. So, ice block is compared to the cold ice. The block, what you see it in your fridge, when you put a tray of water inside your freezer, what you receive it later, you receive it as an ice block. That is compared to the cold ice means you don't welcome anybody. You just don't show any expression in your eyes. That are called as cold ice. So that ice block is compared to cold ice and hence it is a metaphor. Am I very clear? Can I go for the next one? She is a lioness, don't mess up with her is a metaphor. The human soul that through me ran, again it is a metaphor. All the world is a stage is a metaphor. Ice block, cold ice is again a metaphor. She is compared to the lioness. The human soul is compared to the blood which is running inside. The world is compared to the stage. The ice block is compared to the ice. So this is how you use the metaphor. Simile, comparison. Okay, the next picture you could see. Now, how could you differentiate a simile and a metaphor? Because both I said it is a comparison. Now, how can you differentiate a simile and a metaphor? When you say, tell A is like B, it is a simile. A is like B means when you are telling this sentence, A is like B, it is a simile because we use the element like. And then metaphor, A is B. He is A. You are telling that word. So A is B. If you tell that word, it is a metaphor. You have all known the word Venn diagram. So Venn diagram actually will tell you in between, which is common between A and B. That is what a Venn diagram is used to tell, isn't it? This the last picture can tell you the difference. Similes, use like or as to compare, use is or was to compare. Similes and metaphors both compare. So what is common between simile and metaphor? It's that both are compared. One uses the element, the other one doesn't use the like and as the element. So are you very clear about the simile and metaphor? Yes? Can we go for the next one? Okay. Now, alliteration. What is alliteration? Alliteration, you would have known. Can you tell me what are consonants and what are vowels? Can anyone you message? What are vowels? What are consonants? Okay. What are the vowels in total number? Yeah, vowels A, E, I, O, U. Yes. The remaining you call it as consonants. Okay. So what is alliteration? It is nothing but the repetition of the same consonant sound or sounds in the same line. You should not go for the next line. It is a comparison made in the same line. Repetition of the consonant sound. We are not going to deal with the vowel sound. We are speaking about the consonant sound. So you can see the next picture. She sells seashells on the seashore. The shells she sells are seashells, I am sure. For if she sells on the seashore, then I am sure she sells seashore shells. So which is again and again repeated? Which sound is repeated? Which sound is repeated? The sound S. Yes sound is repeated. So S is a consonant. Yes. Seashells. Yes. All S sound are repeated. She, sell, sea, shore, shell, she, sell, sea, shell, shore, sea, shore, shore, she, sells, sea, shore, shells. So all the S sound are repeated. All the S are consonant and hence we call this one as the alliteration. What is it? It is alliteration. Okay. Now, first see the right picture. Can you see the brand names there? PayPal, Coca-Cola, Dunkin' Donuts, Krispy Kreme. So these are the advertisement. Advertisement again what? They are part of our everyday life. Every day you see this PayPal. Every day you see this Coca-Cola. Every day you see this Dunkin' Donuts. Every day you see this Krispy Kreme. But all these days you are not aware that alliteration is being used. Can you see that alliteration is used in our advertisements? Can you understand? PayPal, pa sound is repeated. Coca-Cola, ka sound is repeated. Dunkin' Donuts, da sound is repeated. Krispy Kreme, k sound is repeated. Can you understand? See, alliteration. It is being used in our brands. We all knew these advertisements, but we failed to understand that there were alliterations. Yes or no? Yes or no? Phone pay. Yes, very good. Somebody from the message, yes. Phone pay is also a good example. Alliteration. Yes, phone pay. So these are the alliteration that is present in our everyday life. We failed to notice. Just like an advertisement we went across. We failed. Oh, it is rhyming. Okay, if it is rhyming, it should be an alliteration. We never thought of it. Isn't it? We failed. So alliteration is used in our everyday language or everyday usage. Donald Duck, yes. Narayana has said Donald Duck, yes. It's a name. Yeah. So everywhere you can see alliteration. When you see the left side picture, again tongue twisters. We come across enormous tongue twisters. We post it against our friends. When you play, you ask your friend to tell this tongue twister, haven't you? Yes, you would have tried all these days. But we fail to notice that there were alliterations. If two witches were watching two watches, which witch would watch which? That will come. Saravana stores, yes. That can also come under alliteration, yes. Can you see the alliteration and tongue twisters? If two witches were watching two watches, which witch would watch which witch? Which watch? That would come. That has been cut. So alliteration is used in our everyday language. We use alliteration in our everyday speaking, but we fail to notice that they are alliteration actually. Tongue twister is itself an alliteration. Yes, tongue twister. Yes. So they are thought of for everyday usage. Now you can understand how alliteration comes into our everyday usage. They come in the form of advertisement because we are amongst the advertisements. We are swimming in the advertisements, actually speaking, isn't it? Whenever you open your mobile, whenever you open your TV, whenever you open your radio, wherever you are flooded with the advertisements. The advertisements are flooded with the poetic devices, which we fail to notice. Just like that we go. So now, hereupon, hereafter, if you come across any advertisement, understand which poetic device is used. Try start thinking like that. Then you can understand. You can yourself become a poet. Sorry, you can yourself become a poet writing poems. If you start looking at something around you as a poetic device, you yourself will sit down and start writing a poem. This is for sure. Make a note of it. I'm telling you this today. If you start looking around you as an element of poetic devices, you yourself will become a poet. After seeing that, I hope many of you will start writing alliterated words. I'm very sure. So this is how alliteration is used in our everyday language. Okay. Now, illustration from the text. What is given in our textbook? A little wicked gate. It's an alliteration. Which one is repeated? Wicked. She is strong in her faith, firm in her belief. So faith and firm, they are again repeated. We can run and race. Again, run and race. They are alliterated. So these are the illustrations from our text. Okay. Now we are going for the next element, assonance. Okay. Now we saw alliteration. We understood that alliteration are the repeated consonant sounds. Now we are going to see the repetition of the vowels. What is vowels? It is nothing but A, E, I, O, U. So alliteration we saw, it is a repetition of the consonant sounds. Tongue twisters we saw many advertisements. Now we are coming for the assonance. It is the repetition of the vowel sounds. What are the vowel sounds? A, E, I, O, U. Okay, you can see. See, it is the next, it's a poem. Clap your hands and stamp your feet. Clap your hands and stamp your feet. When you utter this line, it is from a poem. Clap, a sound is repeated. Try to light the fire. It beats, sweeps, cleans. So, everywhere you are repeating your vowel sounds. So, it becomes an assonance. See, the next one, this is from our everyday usage. When you go to America, what is the very famous one there? It is the fish and chips, isn't it? Wherever you go, wherever you play a game, you will be asked to make fish and chips. Everybody would be noticing. In some cooking programs and all, you will be asked to make fish and chips. If you have watched Master Chef Australia, you would have known what is fish and chips. It's a very traditional dish for Americans. So when you tell fish and chips, what is repeated? Which sound is repeated? Which sound is repeated here? I. Yes, I sound is repeated. So I is a vowel sound. So you call it as an assonance. So this is the old Coca-Cola advertisement. Stop for a pass, go refreshed. So what is being repeated? The sound O is repeated. O is an vowel. So this is an example of the everyday usage. Again, I'm telling you, advertisement have become a part of our life. We just wake up with the advertisement and sleep with the advertisement. So it is very, it has become prominent in our everyday usage, and hence I'm using the assonance that has been used in the advertisement. And moreover, can you give me a place where alliteration and assonance is used? Can anybody tell me? It is not thinking out of the box. It is the thing what you have followed in your nursery classes. Narayanan has given an example for assonance. The morning was told with a bold statement. Good. Yes, I rhymes. Very good. Amuda has told that rhymes. Yes. All our rhymes, if you see, either there will be alliteration or assonance. When you see Baba black sheep, have you any wool? Baba, it's alliteration. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty went for a fall. Again, what letter is repeated? What sound is repeated? U sound is repeated. So all our rhymes, what we have learnt and come in our nursery classes, all are finest examples of alliteration or assonance. Both, anything can come. It can be an assonance, it can be an alliteration. Okay. So the nursery rhymes, what we have learnt in our lower classes, all these days are a very fine example of alliteration or assonance. Okay. Now, can we go for the everyday? I mean, I hope this assonance is not much found in our text. So, I have not taken the illustration from the text, but I'm telling you, assonance is nothing but the repetition of the vowel sound. What is the vowel sound? A, E, I, O, U. That if it is repeated, you call it assonance. And what is alliteration? The repetition of the same consonant sound in the same line, it is called as the alliteration. Okay, so assonance, alliteration. So till now, how many set of poetic devices are over? How many set of poetic devices are over? 4. Yes. Simile, metaphor, alliteration, assonance. Okay, now we are going for the next one, which is called as personification. So the word personification itself tells you are personifying. You are transforming it into a product. The attribution of a personal nature or a human characteristics to something non-human or the representation of an abstract quality in human form. When that is not a human form, you give it as a human form and you just transform it. You call that as a personification. When you see the next picture, you can have a clear idea. The car is not a person, but we have transformed it. We have personified the car into a person, and what we are trying to tell, the car was suffering and was in need of TLC. What is TLC? TLC is love and care. That is TLC. Total love and care, you call it as TLC. So which is personified here? The car is personified. The car is not a living thing. It is a non-living thing. We transform or we personify this car as a person. We are giving eyes and tongue. So you can see that it has become a person. So you are personifying this car that is running out of all kinds of care for it. So the person who is taking care of the car has not cared for it for so many days. So it has become what? Tongue out only. So we are needing some extra love and care for it. Okay. So that is what we are personifying this car into a person. So you call it as personification. Okay, see, now I am giving you a very next example. So what can you see in the first picture? Everybody likes it. Everybody goes for it. What is it? What's it? Biryani. Isn't it? Everybody likes biryani, isn't it? So you can see the picture. The biryani is so delicious. It is inviting you to eat. Can you see? Can a biryani invite you to eat? No, you cannot. A biryani cannot invite you, but you are personifying because the biryani you like the most. So it seems that is inviting you to eat. So the word biryani inviting you to eat has become a what? Personification. Why? Which has been personified into a person here? Which has been personified? So biryani has been personified. Yes, this is inviting you to eat. See in the next picture, time is flying. Can time fly and go? No, time is personified into a person. It is a person. So you tell time flies. You are personifying the time. Here, the picture is a flower. The flower is telling I'm a thirsty flower. Please water me. Can a water talk? Can a flower talk? You are personifying a person. You are personifying the flower. So you are personifying it. So these are the example of personification in your everyday life. Biryani you come across in your life every day, almost every day, isn't it? Everybody comes across this biryani. So when you are telling to your friend in a very funny way, hey, the biryani is very nice, right? It's calling me, let me go have and come. You are telling that means you are using the poetic device personification without knowing that it is a personification. So hereafter, when you tell the biryani is inviting me to eat, the person who is who's standing near you, you tell them that I'm going to use this poetic device. You can tell your mother, you can tell your father, who is going to serve you the delicious dish. It is going to be your mother. You can tell your mother, it is very delicious. It is inviting me to eat. I'm using the poetic device personification. Start telling that you will love the poem. More than biryani, you will start loving to write poems. Okay, so this is it is with our everyday life. See, the time flies. Your mother would say an example. Hey, don't waste the time will fly. It is not having any legs or wings to fly, but she is meaning that it will go off. So you can tell your mother, although she is scolding, you can make it at a light situation saying that mother, you are using a poetic device called personification. When you go around the garden in the evening, you can see the flower drooping. You can see the leaves drooping. You can tell somebody who is standing here, the flower is calling me. If you are going to tell that, you are using what kind of poetic device? You are using the poetic device personification. So it comes in our everyday life. Okay, so you are using what? You are using personification in your everyday life without even knowing that you are using. Lighting dance vigorously in the sky. Yes, Narayanan, I hope this is the sentence from the net. I can understand because I came across this sentence yesterday. Okay, very good. Anyhow, you have that mind to take out the sentence and tell me. That is very sweet of you. Thank you. So hereafter, when you start speaking, you think, oh, this is the poetic device that Miss taught me yesterday. Try understanding, try correlating, try deciphering. Okay, this is the poetic device. When you start doing it, make a note of it. I'm telling you, you will become poets. You will become Shakespeare. You will become Vairamuthu. You will become whatever poets you have till now. You will become all the poets. Okay. So this is the poetic device what I have told. Now we'll go for the illustrations from the text. A silly young cricket accustomed to sing. So why it is a personification, this line? Why this line is a personification? A silly young cricket accustomed to sing. Why is it a personification? Young cricket. What is young cricket? It is a small insect, isn't it? Can it sing? It can only walk. It cannot sing. So you are personifying the cricket into a person who can sing. So that becomes a personification. Okay. To her works did nature link. So what is the work done by the nature? That is what she is linking up to her. That word as itself is a personifying factor. Who is personified here? The nature is personified to a which person? To a woman. What is the word used to describe her? So it is a personification. Through scudding drift, the rainy haze vexed the dim sea. So you are portraying a dim sea. You are using some explanation to tell that it is very dim. So you are personifying that sea. So here it is a personification. I hope I have made you to understand the word personification. The figure of speech personification you understood, and how it is related to our everyday language also we have seen. Okay. Hereafter, when you eat biryani, when your mother says time flies, when somebody is when you're going to water, if the flower is drooping, you can tell some word and you can tell that it is personifying. Personification is nothing but you are personifying a thing which doesn't have a life. That is called as personification. Okay, now we will go for the next one. Very important thing, and moreover, I don't think you have come across this word. Only 10th, I think they would have come across. Anamotopia. Yes, crickets would not sing, won't sing. Varsha is right. Yes, that is over. Now we are going for the next figure of speech. Anamotopia. You have to pronounce it as Anamotopia. I'm telling it again. It is Anamotopia. I'm repeating it again. It is Anamotopia. Okay. So, what is it? Anamotopia. What is the next picture you could see? What is the next picture? It's boom, isn't it? The boom, that sound is equal to the word boom. Blasting, boom, yes. So what I tell, the sound, boom, that sound is equal to the letters, word B-O-O-M. Can you find the, are you able to correlate what I'm trying to tell? The sound, what I tell, boom. The word is also B-O-O-M, boom. The sound is the word. The sound is the word. What I tell as boom is equal to the word B-O-O-M. When my sound and the word are equal, when they relate, you call that figure of speech as onomatopoeia. Bus, hiss, hiss. What does the snake make sound? Okay. What is the sound does a snake make? The snake makes a hissing sound. Hiss. It goes like this, isn't it? So the word hiss is equal to the sound it goes. Can you relate? Can you understand? It is a little bit difficult thing to understand. Just follow my instructions again, you can understand. When something is blasting, the sound what comes is boom. So to express that blasting, what word have I used? I have used the word B-O-O-M. The blasting sound is boom. To explain it, I have used the word B-O-O-M. So my blasting sound is equal to the word what I have used. Can you understand? Can you relate what I'm trying to tell you? Then only you can understand this figure of speech. Boom is the thumb from crackers. Okay, good. Thumb. When I use the word D-U-M and the sound to express the dumb sound, it is onomatopoeia. Yes. Meow. Yes, correct. Meow. What is the meow? Meow is the sound of the cat, and the word I have used is M-E-O-W. Yes, it's an onomatopoeia. Yes. Now see, everyday language, tic-tac. Why it is tic-tac named? Why it is tic-tac, ma? Because lub-dub. Okay, good. Lub-dub. Correct. Tic-tac. When you shake the box, the sound what you receive is tic-tac. So I have used the word T-I-C-T-A-C to express the sound. So it is when we shake, the sound comes. Yes, you are right, Darshana. Yes. So that is what it is used in our everyday life. We do not know tic-tac. It is the sound. Again, it comes for alliteration to tic-tac, isn't it? So we have used it with the sound, what it is creating to express the same with the word T-I-C-T-A-C. So it is a onomatopoeia. Other common examples, beep. Beep. What is the sound? Beep song. You would have known. Very familiar with the beep songs, right? Beep songs. When you hear those beep songs, what comes in some words? It comes, the beep sound will come. So the word beep is equal to the sound it has created. So it is a beep. Cuckoo. Cuckoo sings cuckoo. So that is compared with the name cuckoo. Bang, thump, giggle. When you laugh, when you giggle, that sound comes. Hiss, that is also the sound. So the sound is compared to the word. The sound is expressed by a word. The sound is expressed by a word which gives the same meaning. That is called as onomatopoeia. Boom, splash, hiss, buzz. This and all are the onomatopoeic words. Now tell me, where can you see these onomatopoeic words in everyday life? Where do we see? Ah. So you can see in the cartoons. Okay, now illustration from the text. Suddenly there came a tapping as one gently rapping and rapping at my chamber door. So tapping is the tapping sound, rapping that goes like this. So these are all the illustrations of the Anamotopia. Okay, now allusion. Allusion is nothing but you are referring it. You are reference typically to a person, place, thing, or other literary work with which the reader is presumably familiar. For example, you are talking with somebody, you are taking an example from Bhagavad Gita or something, you are referring the exact words. So that is called as allusions. See, I'll tell you the most example. Now, can you see the picture? Starbucks, Nike, it's all Greek to me. Starbucks, how is this an allusion? I'll explain you. It's nothing but this picture in between. It is called as siren. The picture, what you see in the Starbucks is called as a siren. It is an allusion to the Greek mythological figure. When it was Greek, they had a goddess called a siren. What do the siren do means the siren would invite the ships. It will invite the ships. Siren will be standing on the shores. It will invite the ships with its beautiful song. It will sing. The siren, this picture what you see in the Starbucks is called a siren. Siren is an allusion of Greek mythological figure. So the Greek figure, we have brought the Greek figure here. Why? Because the siren in Greek days, it will lure the ships by its singing. Now, why the Starbucks has used this mythological figure? Because it wants to lure the customers to come and have the coffee. So siren, those days it will sing and invite the ships. In Starbucks, why that allusion has been used? Because to invite the customers to come and have their coffee. So that is why this allusion is used. So Starbucks coffee, we do not know. All these days we have seen, but we didn't know that it was an allusion to the Greek mythological figure. Now understand, everywhere, whatever you try to see, whenever you try to see something, understand that there are some allusions. So start learning what is around you. Start learning, automatically everything you will come to know. Nike is also, it is not Nike, it is called as Nike. This is also an allusion to the Greek mythological goddess Nike. You just Google it and you can understand why this has been used in the Nike logo. Okay, as we are running short of time, I'm making it faster. So what are the illustrations from the text? It may be we shall touch the happy Isis, allusion, Greek mythology, and see the great Achilles, whom we know. It is also an allusion. It is also an allusion from the Greek mythology. Allusion is nothing but you are referring it from your history. You are taking the same words. So that is why Starbuck is an allusion, because they have used the same figure siren. The same figure siren has been used, and so it is an allusion. Okay, this siren figure is very famous with the Greek. It is used to sing songs and invite. Same way, Starbucks has also used the same Greek mythological figure siren to invite the customer. So it is an allusion. Find for the other ones from the, if possible, find from the books. Okay. Next one is rhetorical questions. Rhetorical question is nothing but you tend to ask a question, but you don't want to receive any answer. See, questions are of many types. Interrogation, you know, you have a WH type questions, yes or no type question. But rhetorical question is something different. A rhetorical question is nothing but you ask a rhetorical question, but you don't want to get any answer. You don't want to get a reply. You don't wait. You just pose the question and you go on. So that is what is called as a rhetorical question. So a rhetorical question is a question that is asked without expecting any answer. Sometimes to punch a point, sometimes to persuade someone, other times for a literary effect. When you see the example, you understand, are these remedies for a starting and desperate populace? If you prick us, do we not bleed? If you tickle us, do we not laugh? If you poison us, do we not die? And if you wrong us, we shall not revenge. These are all the questions asked by Shakespeare, but he doesn't want an answer from anybody. So it is a rhetorical question. It will be used in literary. See, this is for everyday usage. When you see this advertisement, Do you want to lose 20 pounds in 2 weeks? They don't want an answer from you. That is a question they are posting for the advertisement. See the Snickers advertisement, hungry, grab a Snickers. They don't want an answer. Hungry, are you hungry or not? They don't want an answer. They just post a question. So this is for a literary effect. They go just post a question without requiring any answer. That is called as rhetorical question. Okay, rhetorical questions are nothing but it is posted without expecting an answer. Okay, so advertisement make use of this rhetorical question. When you see, open your newspaper, when you open your mobile phone, you can see a number of rhetorical questions. Okay, next one. How can you say to me, I am a king? This is a rhetorical question asked in the 11th standard, the hollow crown. And yet not so, for what we can bequeath, save our deposed bodies to the ground. This is also again a rhetorical question because they don't want an answer, but they pose a question. That is called as rhetorical question. Okay, when your mother posts a question to your father, when the answer is not going to be returned, you just tell them, mother, you are posting a rhetorical question. Most fathers are like that. When the mothers are asking a question, there is no answer from them. So hereafter, you tell them that you are posting a rhetorical question where no answers are going to come across. Okay? So that is what is rhetorical question all about. Okay, next one is synecdoche. You have to pronounce this as synecdoche. It's not synecdoche. You have to pronounce it as synecdoche. Synecdoche is nothing but for a part, full or a part, you are meaning with a simple word. See the next example. Give us this day our daily bread. So this has been compared to the salary. I mean, what they are doing, the remuneration, what they call. So they are calling, they are aiming. Daily bread is being used for the remuneration, what they want. So the whole remuneration is taken, is represented by the word daily bread. So you call it as a synecdoche. More examples you can have in your everyday life. When you watch cricket, you say Chennai won by 7 runs. What do they mean? They mean the Chennai team. Mumbai Indians were lost by 7 wickets. What do you mean? The Mumbai Indians team. So you are taking the word Mumbai to represent the whole team. So what are you using in your everyday language? You are using synecdoche. When you see your newspapers, you can see England won by 7 runs. What does it mean? The whole England team is referred by the word England. Can you understand? That is what is called as synecdoche. So see, the accident occurred when he was on his new wheels. So what do you mean by the word new wheels? It is nothing but car. Wheel is the wheel is a word represented for the whole car. The restaurant served them good ambience. The restaurant means not the brick. The persons who are staying in the restaurant, waiters, whoever it may be, they serve a good ambience. So you call, the restaurant is a word used to speak of the service what they receive. The wheels is the word that is the whole car. It is representing the whole car. The restaurant is representing the service. So we use a part to represent the whole. You call it as a synecdoche. It can be vice versa also. The part is used with the whole word, or the whole is used with a word. You represent the word, you represent the whole thing. Here wheels is representing the car. Here restaurant is representing the service what you receive. That is called as synecdoche. Okay, so the synecdoche is nothing but a word used to represent the whole thing. That is called as synecdoche. Now from the text, souls that have toiled and wrought and thought with me, synecdoche. It's a poem from our 11th standard, I suppose. He is not too late to seek a newer world. So this is also a synecdoche where T is compared with the newer, and the whole world it is being used as a comparison. Okay, now we'll go for the next one. Repetition. Repetition is what you come across daily in your life. So you express a simple word. When you have seen the Cook with Komali, you have seen the editing. One word would have repeated again and again. Why that word was repeated? Why I used this Cook with Komali? Because it was the most watched show by everyone. Eventually, when there was a thing needed, so he used to tell that again and again. Some person, if he's needing a thing from the pantry, he'll be telling it again and again. So he is using what poetic device? He is using the poetic device called repetition. Repetition is the repetition of the same word. It can be anywhere in the sentence, starting, in the middle, in the end, anywhere it can be. And repetition most probably will be with single word. Repetition. Can you see the picture? It's okay not to be okay. Which word is repeated again and again? Okay word is again repeated again and again to give you some importance. So it wants to tell you some importance. So the word okay is used. So the okay is the word that has been repeated again and again. So what is the poetic device that has been used there? The poetic device uses okay. The okay word is repeated again and again. See, this you can see for the everyday usage. When you come across this sail, sail, sail. Sail, sail, sail. So it is what? They are using repetition. Yeah, why this word sail is used? Because they want to invite you. They want to invite you to come and get the product. So they have used the word what? Sail, sail, sail. Sail, sail, sail. See, next one, you can see the Coke. So it is repeated, not the words. You can see the pictures repeated. It gives you a reaction. It gives you a thing. Oh, we can share it with all these things. So you are provoked. You are provoked. Okay. See the next advertisement telling it again and again. So persons are using in their title again and again. So repetition is used. When you tell your mother, I want dosa, 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 you repeat because you want her to go and do, isn't it? So you repeat it and again with the intention of getting the dosa. I want puri, 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 puri. When you say, your intention is to receive the puri from your mother, isn't it? So every day you use repetition in your everyday talking without knowing that it is a repetition. Okay, hereafter when you see the advertisement, understand that it is a poetic device called repetition. Okay. Next. So this is the illustration from the text. Macavity, Macavity, there is no one like Macavity. So the word Macavity is again and again repeated, telling the importance of the cat. So Macavity is being repeated again and again, and hence it is a repetition. Next one is the anaphora. Last one, the anaphora. Anaphora is also a repetition. But anaphora is a repetition of a phrase in the beginning of the sentence. Clauses. See, can you see the difference? See, so can you see the definition? The repetition of the word or phrase at the beginning of the successive clauses, you call it anaphora. There is a difference between a repetition and an anaphora. Repetition can come anywhere in the sentence. It can be in the beginning, it can be in the middle, it can be in the end. But anaphora comes only in the beginning of the successive clauses. In every cry of every man, in every infant's cry of fear. So what is repeated here? In every cry is being repeated in the successive clauses. Successive means the next. So it is called as anaphora. There is a mild difference between a repetition and an anaphora. Repetition is a word that comes anywhere in the sentence. But anaphora is a phrase that comes in the beginning of the successive clauses. In every cry of every man, in every infant's cry of fear. It's a poem by William Blake. The poem's name is London. So the phrase in every cry is being repeated. Okay. I hope a feedback form has been filled and sent to you. Try filling the form and sending it back. Okay. I'll give you the next one. See this is the use of the repetition. See, sharp problems, sharp minds, sharp marketing, sharp solution, sharp sales, sharp customers. As it is in the beginning of the sentence, you take it as to be an anaphora. So this is an advertisement. Which advertisement? It is an insurance advertisement. It can be a sales advertisement. See here, the next one. Life is an adventure, dare it. Life is a love, enjoy it. Life is a tragedy, struggle it. Sorry, life is a tragedy, face it. Life is a struggle, fight it. Life is a praise, fulfill it, promise, fulfill it. All videos, all songs, all access. So this is an advertisement. So we are all coming across each and every one of the things without knowing that they are the poetic devices. Now it has been repeated in the beginning of each sentence, successive process. So you call it as the what? Anaphora. It's not repetition, sorry, this is anaphora. Okay? Anaphora. Okay. Now the illustration from the text for anaphora. I came, I saw, I conquered. I, again, is an anaphora because he wants to stress something very seriously. Mad word, mad kings, mad composition. So whenever it is going to be in the beginning and it is in the successive clauses, so it comes as the anaphora. We shall not flag or fail. We shall go on to the end. We shall not win. We shall not. Winston Churchill. So he has used the word we shall not. So he is using the poetic device anaphora. Mad again. He is using anaphora. I. He is using anaphora because he is using in the beginning of the sentence. Okay? Hope you people have understood. Now you could see the difference between a repetition and anaphora. It is the repeated use of the particular word or words for a stronger emphasis. It is a deliberate repetition. See, by chance it is coming here. By it is deliberate. Deliberate means wantedly you want to use some things. Wantedly you want to see. When you see the previous example, mad world, mad kings and mad composition. If you would have thought William Shakespeare would have used as mad world and kings and composition, but he wanted to stress the madness. So he has used it separately for each and every one. Mad world, mad kings, mad composition. I came and saw and conquered. He could have told Julius Caesar, but he wanted to tell himself. He wanted to give prominence to himself. He said, I came, I saw, I conquered. So it is deliberate repetition. He wanted to tell something very importantly. So he has used it deliberately. So there is a difference between a repetition and anaphora. You will know this is being used, repetition is being used deliberately, means it is an anaphora. When the repetition is somewhere there in the sentence, you call it as, when the word is repeated, you call it as repetition. When some words are deliberately, understand the word deliberately. Deliberately means wantedly. If some words are wantedly repeated, you call it as anaphora. Okay? This is the difference between the repetition and anaphora. Repetition, it's repeated use. Anaphora is deliberate repetition. Deliberate means wantedly. If you are going to use it, is called as anaphora. Okay. The final thing for you people, this is a write-up by me. It has some parts of poetic devices in it. So I will give you a 2 minutes time. Not even 2 minutes, a minute's time. Now tell me what all the, I have not used all the 12 poetic devices. I have used some 7 or 8 poetic devices. I want you to tell me what are all the poetic devices with right explanation. Yes, alliteration, good. Then let me see how far I have. I'm victorious in making you people to learn the poetic devices. Alliteration, simile, which is simile? I want right explanation, which is simile? I am a busy bee, bustling every day in enormous enterprises. I ain't a machine, still performs reforms given task. Oh God, allocate an extra hour with power like ants, since time flies sooner. Repetition, yes. Like ants, simile, yes. Repetition, personification, which line? Time flies, good, yes. The answers given by you will tell me whether I was able to reach you with the figures of speech. Time flies, yes, then. Time flies then. Okay, let me give the answer. Since it's time up for me, I'll tell you. Busy bee is an alliteration. Bustling. I told you, you people, second line is assonance. No, second line is not assonance. Busy bee, you can go for alliteration. Bustling is onomatopoeia. Bustling. The sound is equaling the bustling. So bustling is an onomatopic word. Every day in enormous enterprises, intermission still performs reforms given task. Here it is assonance because E is repeated. Oh God, what is it? It is an anaphora. Allocate an extra hour with power like ants, which is a simile. Since time flies sooner, time is flying, it is personified. So these are the figures of speech I have used in today's class. Okay. So again, I'm telling you, this is a pandemic period. Take care of yourself, take care of your family. Don't step out unnecessarily. If you really wanted to go outside, please use your mask and sanitizers. Take care of your entire family. Okay. So as I said you, poetic devices form everyday, our everyday's usage. They are the part of everyday's usage. When you start understanding, when you start learning deliberately, you are going to become a poet. Nobody can stop you from becoming a poet. So this is what poetic devices are really meant to be. I have not taken the entire poetic devices today. I have taken only some 12 devices today. So start thinking, start deciphering whatever you talk with the way of the poetic devices. You start deciphering, or if you are going to understand, you are going to be the poets in the near future. All the best for your life, all the best for your exams, all the best for everything in your life. Take care of yourself. Kindly fill the feedback form that has been sent. Okay? Please kindly fill the feedback form that has been sent. Again, I'm telling you, take care of yourself. Thank you for listening patiently to me. Thank you very much. Thank you. So kindly fill the feedback form that has been sent in the chat box. Please fill it up and send. Thank you. Have a nice day.